The basketball world is in chaos. What began as faint whispers in locker rooms and chat groups has erupted into a global shockwave that threatens to change women's basketball forever. Word broke that Caitlin Clark, the brightest star in the sport and the face of the WNBA's future, had allegedly been offered a $50 million contract by a new Saudi-backed super league known as Project B. $50 million. A number so staggering that it didn't just make headlines, it detonated across the sports landscape, forcing executives, players, and fans alike to question what comes next for the game they love. Project B isn't just another experimental league or side venture. It's a full-scale global movement, a meticulously engineered operation designed to shatter the traditional structure of professional women's basketball. Behind it stands a network of billionaire investors, Silicon Valley visionaries, and Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, the same entity that bankrolled the controversial LEV Golf League. Their goal is clear: to dominate, not compete, to build a system so vast, so financially irresistible that no player, no matter how loyal, can turn away. And right at the center of this unfolding empire is Caitlin Clark. Fresh off a record-shattering rookie season that captivated millions, she's become the sport's most valuable asset and its biggest bargaining chip. Her games brought in unprecedented TV ratings and sold-out arenas. Yet, behind the glitz, there's an ugly truth. The WNBA still operates on fragile economics. Players travel in cramped conditions, play in small venues, and earn salaries that pale compared to their male counterparts. The league's highest-paid stars make roughly $230,000 a year. Compare that to Project B's offer, more than 200 times that amount. And it's no wonder the basketball world is holding its breath. The timing couldn't have been more volatile. The WNBA is entering another tense collective bargaining phase, with players demanding fair pay and better treatment. But Project B's arrival has thrown those talks into chaos. It's a game changer not just because of the money, but because of the message: that the old system has failed to value women athletes properly, and that new global powers are ready to rewrite the rules. Sources close to the league claim that several WNBA players have already signed with Project B under strict confidentiality. The masterminds behind the project, former Google executive Grady Burnett and Skype co-founder Jeff P., crafted a vision unlike anything women's basketball has ever seen: a 6-team international tour with games spanning Asia, Europe, and the Americas. Each team would feature 11 elite athletes competing in short, high-intensity tournaments broadcast worldwide. Backed by over $5 billion in initial funding, Project B is promising what the WNBA never could: superstar pay, luxurious travel, and global exposure. And then there's the name attached to its development: Maverick Carter, LeBron James's longtime business partner and co-founder of Spring Hill Entertainment. Though Carter later stepped back, his early consulting role gave the project an aura of legitimacy that set the sports world buzzing. This wasn't a rogue startup. It was a well-connected, well-financed movement with celebrity investors like Candace Parker, Steve Young, Novak Djokovic, and Sloane Stephens. The panic inside WNBA headquarters was palpable. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, who had worked tirelessly to expand sponsorships and visibility, suddenly found herself fighting an invisible war. Meetings were reportedly held deep into the night. Owners, agents, and executives debated how to stop their top talent from being lured away. But how do you fight against limitless oil money and tech wealth? How do you keep players loyal to a system that has failed to meet their basic expectations for decades? Caitlin Clark's situation exemplifies the dilemma. For years, players have been told to grow the game before demanding more pay. Clark did exactly that. She brought attention, sponsorships, and ratings the league had never seen. Yet her actual paycheck didn't reflect her value. Now, Project B is dangling not just a life-changing salary, but also equity, sponsorship guarantees, and creative control, something no league, men's or women's, has ever offered a rookie athlete on this scale. Behind closed doors, her team reportedly weighed every angle. There was legacy, remaining loyal to the WNBA, the league that gave her a platform. But there was also opportunity, the chance to become the face of a global revolution in sports. For Caitlin, the choice isn't just about basketball. It's about power, independence, and rewriting what it means to be a professional athlete in the modern era. Meanwhile, the ripple effects are hitting everyone else. Unrivaled, the 3x3 Women's League, created by WNBA stars Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart, was supposed to be a breakthrough, a player-led model that emphasized empowerment over profit. But Project B's emergence has overshadowed it completely. With overlapping schedules and exponentially higher paychecks on the table, Unrivaled now faces an existential crisis before it even tips off. As one insider bluntly said, "You can't fight oil money with passion." Social media is ablaze with debate. Some fans accuse Project B of using women's sports for sports washing, an attempt by Saudi Arabia to polish its global image through high-profile investments. Others argue it's simply giving women what they've deserved all along: financial respect. The conversation is messy, political, and deeply emotional. Because whether people support or oppose Project B, everyone recognizes what's at stake. For the WNBA, this isn't just a financial threat, it's an identity crisis. The league has built its brand on empowerment and equality. Yet the harsh reality is that empowerment means little when players still need off-season jobs overseas to pay their bills. The arrival of Project B exposes that contradiction in the most brutal way possible. Every sign points to Caitlin Clark as the tipping point. Her decision, whether to stay and fight for reform or to leave and redefine the sport globally, will shape the future of women's basketball. If she accepts, Project B will instantly gain legitimacy, attracting stars across the world and forcing the WNBA to either evolve or collapse. If she declines, it might give the WNBA a temporary reprieve, but at the cost of knowing that its biggest star turned down generational wealth to stay loyal to a system that hasn't earned it. The stakes are enormous. The Saudis have the money, the connections, and the global infrastructure to build something unstoppable. The WNBA has tradition, heart, and a loyal fan base, but it's fighting against time and economics. The next few months could determine not just where Caitlin Clark plays, but what professional women's basketball will even look like a decade from now. One offer, one decision, one player who could change everything. Whether she chooses the comfort of loyalty or the chaos of revolution, Caitlin Clark now stands at the crossroads of history, and the entire world is watching. So what do you think? Should Caitlin Clark take the $50 million offer and make history with Project B, or stay and try to rebuild the WNBA from within? Can the league survive if its brightest stars start walking away? Let's talk about it in the comments below.